What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Come on in the room. Yeah. Oh, that wasn't very clean. Oh, listen at me taking my own advice. Yeah. Much better. What's up, everybody? Joining me on Instagram as well. I'm trying to figure out this whole Facebook, YouTube, Instagram thing. This is Damon Speaks Live, coming to you every Monday night at 8 p.m. This has been a very interesting week. There have been a lot of interesting things that have been going on, a lot of interesting things that have been happening. And there was one thing that I read this morning that really struck my heart. It was a prayer as a part of a book that I read, and it said, "Lord, I ask that I may be able to believe deeply that all things are working out for me." It did not say that. It said, "Lord, I pray that I may believe that all things are possible with God." And those words struck me. The word that struck me the most was may. A lot of times we feel as if we have to be 100% sure. A lot of times we feel as if we need to know for sure that God is always there for us, that all things are possible with God. And you know what I personally preach? I personally preach that all things are always working out for me. But that's not always 100%. Sometimes that's 5%. Sometimes that's really mustard seed faith. So as we go through this week, I want to encourage you to believe in the maybe. Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible for me to believe. Maybe it's possible for me to believe this one thing. Maybe it's possible for me to believe that everything is possible, that all things are possible. Sometimes, Lord, I don't believe. Help me in my unbelief. But as long as there is that seed, as long as there is that mustard seed, that small faith. Another friend blew my mind this week because she said, "My faith is strong enough to question my faith." Blew my mind. My faith is strong enough to question, is everything really going to be working out for me? Are things always possible? A lot of people think that doubt is a bad thing. Doubt is not necessarily a bad thing, but we make it a bad thing because of our feelings about it, because we feel that we're not strong enough, that we're not a good Christian, that we are not someone that really believes in the law of attraction, that we're not someone that's spiritual because we experience doubt. Doubt is a fact of life. Doubt is going to come in. But instead of focusing your energy on the doubt, focus your energy on the belief. Focus your energy on the possibility. It may not be something that you believe is going to happen right now. It may not be something that you fully believe can happen, but is there a possibility? It's the same thing when I talk about loving yourself. A lot of people say, you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. Yes, you do. It would be great if you could love yourself. But if you can't see yourself getting to the point where you just love yourself, can you like yourself? Can you like one thing about yourself? Are you doing a good job at one thing? Has there been one thing in the past that you've been good at? Has there been one thing that you've done for someone else that you feel proud of? And then step by step, brick by brick by brick. Hey, Ronald. Hey, everybody on Instagram. I'm sorry you guys have to look at me like this, but this is just what it is. Step by step, you'll begin to build the ability. You'll begin to build a foundation whereby or on which your love for yourself can grow and will grow. These people out here with these bikes are getting on my nerves. Hey, Kara. Kara, I'm sorry. The other thing that I wanted to mention quickly before we get into breadcrumbs, which is the real reason I'm here tonight. The other thing that I wanted to mention quickly is that there has been a lot of talk, and you've heard a lot of it from me, about being ready to be in a relationship, about loving yourself, being in a good place when you get into a relationship. I remember my thoughts about that shifting when I was listening to a podcast, and there was a relationship expert there. And he said, listen, if I waited until I felt ready, if I waited until I felt perfect to be in a relationship, I would never be in a relationship. So some of us are waiting. Some of us are thinking, oh, I have to completely love myself. I have to completely love my love handles and, my stretch marks or my jealous attitude or my insecurities. I really have to deal with those. Like, I really have to deal with all that stuff, deal with my baggage before I can get into a relationship. That's great. That's admirable. And it would be wonderful if you did that. But if someone comes along and you feel the energy, then do not keep yourself from having that experience. How are we going to grow in love and grow in relationships if we don't practice, if we don't allow ourselves to be in those relationships that aren't necessarily perfect? I'm not saying go and be with someone that you don't want to really be with, someone who you know that you're going to break their heart. But don't hold yourself back from being in a relationship that might be good for you. I'm super aware. I'm ultra aware, and I'm constantly analyzing things. I'm constantly analyzing people and situations and what I did and what they did and playing in my mind what's happening, what may happen. I think that is a blessing when it comes to Damon Speaks. I think it's a blessing when it comes to motivating other people and speaking problems and issues. However, when it comes to personal relationships, it can kind of get in the way. Because I'm so aware, I'm thinking, oh my God, he just did that. What does that mean? Instead of simply allowing myself to be, simply allowing myself to have fun, simply allowing myself to experience life in relationship with another. Anyway, those are my opening thoughts. If you're just joining, Isaiah, what's up, baby? If you're just joining me, this is Damon Speaks Live. I'll be here every Monday night at 8 p.m. Tonight, I want to talk about breadcrumbs. No more breadcrumbs. What am I talking about? What are breadcrumbs? Breadcrumbs are the things that we settle for. Breadcrumbs are the things that we think we deserve and that we think we can have, which are below the level of what we actually deserve, below the level of what we actually want. So imagine that there's a loaf of bread on the table. That loaf of bread represents the biggest, most wonderful, most fulfilling life that you can have. Instead of having that loaf and being able to slice from that loaf, we find ourselves on the ground underneath the table, just taking what we can get, taking the little flakes and the little pieces that drop from the table. Why? Why do we choose breadcrumbs? Low self-esteem can be an issue. The fact that we don't feel that we're worthy, we feel guilty, we feel ashamed of who we are, what we are, whether it be gay, whether it be a body issue, whether you feel like you're too skinny, whether you feel like you're too big, whether you feel like you're not rich enough, not good enough. We get enough of those messages in the world and in society that it can be easy to think to ourselves that we do not deserve good things, that we do not deserve what we really want. Maybe it's the religion that we grew up in that tells us that we should not desire the things that are the true desires of our heart. So, desire. Desire is scary. And desire, we feel like, what if we could get rid of those desires, those things that are deeply rooted? Like for me, I want a husband, I want a family, I want to have a great career, right? Those things can be scary. And when I see that that is not happening for me, or when you see that that is not happening for you at whatever age you may be, there are so many thoughts that we can have. I'm 37, so I'm thinking, oh shit, I should have met somebody by now. I should have met someone at 25. We should have been dating for 5 years. I should have been married at 30, and now I would have been married for 7 years, and it would be time to have kids. We have to let those things go, and we have to learn how to be in the moment. And I know that it can be super scary to relinquish control, but you're really not in control anyway. I love control. I love the idea of being able to control a situation by the things that I say, by the things that I don't say, by the things that I do, by the way that I act, acting like a chameleon and trying to figure out what other people want me to do or what I think other people want me to say. What would happen if I just surrendered to the moment and got quiet and said, what is it that you really want? Not what you think you can have, but what is it that you really want? You can use the law of attraction. The law of attraction says that which is like unto itself is drawn. So in general, if I think about positive things, then positive things will flow into my life. If I think more about negative things, then negative things will flow into my life, generally. So if you are a person that has been taking breadcrumbs, you took this job because it was the first job offered to you, because you knew that you could do it, because it was easy, even though you hate it, even though it makes you hate your existence, even though it makes you hate your life, you took this job, or you took this marriage, you took this man, or you took this woman because they were the only ones that were trying to holler. They were the only ones that were trying to pursue you. You knew that you weren't really excited. You knew that you really didn't want to be in this relationship, but you thought to yourself, this is something that I can have. This is the thing. The FOMO is real. You may be thinking, I have thoughts. Sometimes I think, if I don't take this job, I won't have this experience. If I don't get into this relationship, then I'll never get into a relationship. This is the only person that's going to love me as I am. This is the only person that's going to love the parts of me that I'm ashamed of. This is the only person that's going to love the belly, the stretch marks, the short, whatever, being short, being too tall, being too lanky. It could be any number of things. This is the only person. And so we take all that and we settle for someone that may not be good for us. And we always know. We always know. We can pretend that we don't know. We can pretend that we don't see. But at the end of the day, we always know, because we have a feeling right here, or maybe in the solar plexus, or maybe in the pit of our stomachs. But we're afraid to follow that voice. We're afraid to give ourselves permission to ask for what we really want. There are people out there that frankly aren't as talented, frankly aren't as attractive as you, that are getting the opportunities, that are getting into the relationships, that are getting all the things they want simply because they believe that they deserve it, simply because they believe that it's possible, that whatever they want is possible. I know that I've been on the other side. I know that I've been on the side of looking like, dang, how did you get that? That's not a good place to be, but sometimes we find ourselves there, right? Looking at a person and say, damn, how did you get that man? Or damn, how did you get that job? And then going through the whole cycle of feeling bad about ourselves and feeling like, oh God, it'll never happen for me. Why doesn't it ever happen for me? But it can be simply believing. Going back to what I said earlier. Can you believe that it's possible? Maybe not. Maybe you can't say today, oh, I believe that everything's working out for me. And I know that, I'm going to get the man, and I know that I'm going to get the house, and I know I'm going to get the car, and I know I'm going to get the career. You may not believe that, but can you go step by step? Can you believe that it's possible that you may one day believe that maybe one day you'll get to the place where you love yourself? Maybe one day you'll get to the place financially where you feel like you'll be able to support a family, or that you'll be able to do something good. If you can't get there, can you get to a place where you're willing to think that it's possible? You're willing to think, maybe, perhaps, it's possible that you could get to the place where you believe that it's possible. I know what it's like to feel bad about not being at a place where you feel super positive, or you feel like all things are working out for you. I get it. Be where you are. Simply be where you are. Sometimes just being aware that you want to be in a different place is enough. Sometimes you don't have the strength. Sometimes you don't have the desire. Sometimes you don't have the will to stop picking up the breadcrumbs. Sometimes you don't have the will, you don't have the strength to stop saying yes when you really mean no. That is breadcrumbs. That is accepting something that is lower than you. Saying yes to a person, saying yes to an opportunity, when you really know here that the answer is no. So you get into a situation. You hate the situation. You're hating on yourself because you said yes. You're building up mounds and mounds and mounds of resentment, which is kind of like plaque on your teeth. It's just blocking everything good from coming in, and it's kind of destroying you from the outside in. Resentment. Why did I say yes to this? Why am I in this relationship? Why am I at this job? But if you can find the strength to simply say no, it's going to be hard for some of us. It's hard for me to say no to people and to things, but I'm learning and I'm on the journey. We're all on a journey. So don't be mad at yourself. Just the fact that you're seeing this video, whenever you see this, you can just start to believe that it may be possible for you to stop taking breadcrumbs, that it may be possible for you to actually go after the things that you truly desire, to go after the things that you truly deserve. And if you don't know what those things are, that's okay too. There's this thought that we have to know. We have to know exactly right now what we want, what kind of partner we want, what kind of life we want. You may not know. And that is okay. Take some time. Spend some time with yourself. Write in your journal. Meditate. Pay attention to how you feel when you're around different people. Pay attention to how you feel when you leave that group of friends, when you leave that place. How do you feel? Do you feel built up? Do you feel whole? Or do you feel like something has been drawn from you? Do you feel worn out? Then you'll start to understand what it is that you really want. Then you'll start to understand that, I actually don't want to be in this relationship, or I actually thought I wanted that man, but I really didn't want that man. Thought I really wanted that job, but I really don't want that job. I'm picking up breadcrumbs. I'm picking up things off the floor because I don't believe in myself, because I don't love myself. Let me tell you, if no one has told you today, if no one has ever told you, whoever you are, wherever you are, with whatever issues you may have, you are worthy and you deserve good things. You deserve to have what it is that is the true desire of your heart. I don't care what you've done. I don't care who you are. I don't care where you are. By nature of being a human being in this world, on this earth, you may be a big guy. You may be thinking, no one is ever going to love me. No one is ever going to love the way that I look. That hurts. That hurts you, and that causes suffering. So instead of saying that, you can say, you know what? I'm having these feelings. You can write it down. I'm having these feelings. I'm feeling like no one is ever going to love me, that I can't love myself, that I feel the pressure to lose weight, that I feel the pressure to go to the gym. But I'm willing to believe, I really don't believe this, but I'm willing to believe that it's possible that I'll find somebody one day, or that somebody will find me one day that will love me for who I am. And you know what? I'm willing to believe that it's possible that maybe one day I'll believe that it doesn't matter necessarily what someone else thinks about me. Maybe I'll believe one day that it matters more what I think about myself. And that when I think about that, and I think about myself, and I think about my love for myself, then my energy changes. And then I start to put out the energy that I actually love myself and that I'm actually okay with myself. And then maybe I won't be so thirsty. Maybe I won't keep taking breadcrumbs because I'm not so hungry. Maybe because I've already filled myself with self love and with spirituality and with the things that I love to do in life. Maybe I won't be so hungry and I won't be feeling like I'm a beggar at the table. That I'm looking at the breadcrumbs and I'm sweeping up the breadcrumbs and putting them in my mouth because that's all that I deserve. That's all that I get to have. Maybe one day, maybe one day, I will be so full of love that it won't matter if I get into a relationship, when I get into a relationship, or what somebody else thinks about me. And then maybe I'll start having fun. And then maybe I'll just be fun to be around. And maybe when I go on dates, I won't be thinking, oh, will this person accept my stretch marks? Maybe I'll be thinking, oh, this is somebody that I actually like. This is somebody that I actually want to go out on a second date with. And then maybe, perhaps, maybe I won't be so concerned about who's texting who and about who said what last and trying to control the situation. And maybe I could just be myself. And then maybe my relationships will start to actually work out because then if I'm being myself, that person is actually going to fall in love with who I actually am. Maybe in being myself, then I can actually open that door and allow a little bit of intimacy. And then the relationship will be built on a solid foundation. Just maybe I'm not saying that this is actually going to happen, but I'm willing to believe today that maybe that is possible. That maybe you felt like you're not intelligent. Maybe you felt like you're not smart enough. Maybe you got bad grades in school. I got terrible grades in school. I was a terrible student. And what I realized, I always thought that I was not intelligent. I always thought that maybe I had a learning disability. But what I gained and what I learned is that I am interested in the things that I'm interested in. And if it's not interesting to me, I don't care. I don't care about it. Multiplication tables, mathematics, don't care. History, love. Music, love. Good grades. Anyway, perhaps you're thinking, oh man, I'm so dumb. I can never start a business. I'm so like I don't have enough. I don't have enough. I don't have enough mental power to do what I really want to do. Let me just accept this. Let me just do this and let me just live a mediocre life. Or you can get in the mirror and say, you know what? I'm feeling like I'm not intelligent. I'm feeling like I'm dumb. I'm feeling like um nobody would ever hire me to do what I really want to do. But I'm willing. I'm willing to believe that maybe I learn differently. Maybe I haven't really been exploring my options. Maybe I haven't really been giving my energy to things that I really like. Perhaps it's fashion. Perhaps it's culinary arts. Perhaps it's social media management. Perhaps it's performing. I don't know what it could be. What do I really like? I don't know. I've always just been living up to my parents' expectations. They told me that I should be a doctor. So I tried to be a doctor. I failed miserably at that. So I just thought I'm not good at anything. But maybe I can find some love for myself and relax just a little bit and discover what it is that I really want to do and find out that I'm actually not unintelligent. I'm actually not dumb. I'm actually not stupid. I can lay those to rest. I don't have to keep calling myself that. Nobody knows that I call myself that, right? Because that's just in my head. That's just what I say in the mirror in the morning. But that's what I call myself. Maybe you can lay that down. And then as you lay that down, then your vibration starts to raise and you start to attract opportunities and you start to attract people and you start to attract things in your life that make you feel like you're on fire, that make you feel like you're in your creative space, that make you feel like you're living in purpose, on purpose. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is that I received the message that some of us are accepting breadcrumbs, that some of us are accepting things that we really don't want, that we really don't like, only because we feel guilty because we're gay. We feel guilty because we didn't get the grades. We feel guilty and ashamed because we didn't get the boy, or because we feel like we're not where we're supposed to be, or we should be. Stop shitting on yourself. It's so disgusting. Lay down the shoulds and look at what is. Look at what may be possible. Look at the possibilities. Look at the maybes. Lean in to the maybes. I know it can be difficult because there's the fear, right? And there are several facets to this fear. There's fear of the unknown. If I leave this relationship, will anyone else ever love me? What's going to happen? Will I ever meet anyone else? There's also the fear of failure. If I leave this job, how am I gonna support my family? This is a pandemic. I feel this urge. I feel this energy telling me to like leave my job and do something else, but I'm so afraid of failing. What will that mean if I fail in front of my family, if I fail in front of my friends? What will they think about me? Not necessarily what will I think about me, but it's so important what they think about me. What will they think about me? And the next one is a doozy. It's the fear of success. What if I actually did have the career that I wanted? What if I actually did meet the man or the woman of my dreams? What does that mean? How am I gonna maintain that? How am I gonna keep up that success? How am I gonna keep that cash flow? Fear. It's real. And sometimes it's there. But I want to encourage you to hashtag feel the fear and do it anyway. Feel the fear. Let it be there. Heck, make it your best friend. Invite it to sit down and tea. Listen to what it has to say. Mm-hmm. 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 And then invite it to leave. Sometimes the fear is just like a little child that's like rah 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 in your head, and because you're not paying it any attention, it's like rah rah rah. And so then, thank you, Monique. Stop shitting on yourself. Then when you listen to it and you're not afraid to let it in and let it sit down, then you can move on. Then you can get up and say, I heard what you had to say, but I'm gonna go this way. This is actually what I'm gonna do. My friend Anwar says this often. Bitch, you're not a batch of cookies. You're never done. So don't think, oh, I'm not where I want to be. I'll never get there. You're still in the process. You're still on the journey. I have journey. That's believer. I have journey tattooed on my arm because I fully believe that life is a journey, not a destination. What if we could embrace that? Along with the maybes, what if we could embrace the journey? And finally, I want to offer this for someone that may be suffering today. Abraham Hicks. Check him out on YouTube. Often does these things called rampages. A rampage of love, a rampage of appreciation. They're kind of somewhere in between meditations and something that you can maybe listen to encourage yourself. And so I'd like to do one. Feel free to close your eyes or to keep them open, and feel free to come back to this place in the video and watch this, because I think it's going to be powerful and I think it's going to be helpful. So here's a rampage for people that keep being attracting to themselves and keep finding themselves picking up the breadcrumbs. I'm in a place where I keep accepting things that I don't want. I'm in a place where I keep saying yes to people and things that I really don't want. I'm in a place where I feel like I'm ashamed of who I am. I feel like I'm not where I'm supposed to be, but I don't know. I don't know how to get to the next level. But I'm willing to believe that maybe the universe has a plan. I'm willing to believe that maybe things really are working out for me. I may not be able to see it. I may not be able to feel it, but I'm just going to go with it. I'm just going to feel the energy. I'm just going to be grateful. Yes, gratitude feels good. Grateful for what I have. Grateful for where I am. Grateful for all the experiences that I've had, all the good things. Maybe I could focus on the good things. I can have gratitude for the good things that have happened. And you know what? And when I feel gratitude, perhaps I can feel a little bit more appreciation. Yeah, appreciation is good. Gratitude is great, but appreciation is even better. I can appreciate today. I can appreciate what I have right now. Things are actually not that bad. Things may feel like they're bad, but the more that I concentrate on the good, the more that I appreciate where I am and who I am, the better I feel. And the better I feel, the more I start to attract things that I feel like are good for me. Actually, you know what? I don't feel like I need to have the breadcrumbs. I can see myself dreaming again. I can see myself hoping again. I can see myself thinking perhaps it's possible. Perhaps it's possible for good things to work out for me. Perhaps I can believe, even though it's kind of weird, perhaps I can believe in the law of attraction. The more I think about the things that I want, the more I think about who I want to be in the world, that those things will start to come to me. And then I don't have to think about them every day. I don't have to constantly bang my head against the wall and say positivity, positivity, positivity. Perhaps I can just love myself where I am and realize that sometimes I'm going to feel great. Sometimes I may be feeling a little bit sad, but by and large, I believe that things are working out for me. So thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you, higher power, for always looking out for me. Thank you for protecting me from things that were not good for me. Thank you for sustaining me, even though I was always looking at the breadcrumbs and always looking at things that weren't necessarily working out for me. Thank you for letting me see this video. Thank you for letting me be able to feel like I can dream again, and that I'm actually gonna be all right. Thank you. It can be something that simple. It can be something as simple as finding that appreciation. So, to wrap up, if you're in a place where you're accepting breadcrumbs and you're aware of it, it's okay to just be aware. It may take some time. It may take a journey to get to the place where you feel like you can do better or you can accept better. It's okay to be where you are. But as you start to get to know yourself, as you start to love yourself a little bit more, then you may believe that things are working out for you. You may believe that maybe you can, instead of crawling on the floor, that maybe you deserve to sit at the table, that maybe you deserve to actually have a piece of bread as opposed to a crumb. I love you. Thank you so much, everyone that has tuned in. I am Damon Speaks. This is Damon Speaks Live. Come back next Monday. I'll be here with a word, with something that has come to me for you. I love you. Take care of yourselves. If you need anything, you can always hit me up in my DMs, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Damon_speaks. You can also find me on YouTube, Damon Speaks. Please subscribe. Please like this video. Help me get my numbers up so that I can maybe start monetizing or maybe just start influencing a bigger group of people. That would be awesome. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. And you know what I always say. Keep your head up.